What's going on, my people? It is Chris Classic once again, dropping a video. I wanted to do a Royal Rumble recap. I just got done watching it. Make sure you watch, comment, like, and subscribe to the Take It Home podcast. Also subscribe to my C3 Wrestling page for exclusive content and wrestling matches. Let's start with, we'll do it in order. I didn't know that Charlotte and Asuka versus Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax was going to be on the pre-show. I had no idea. So I was actually watching something else, and then I was like, well, let me see what's going on with the pre-show. And then it was the end of the match. So from what I got from that, I had a feeling that Shayna and Nia were going to win. I thought Asuka was going to turn. That would have been, I thought that would have been nice. That would have been dope. Like how Miz turned on how Shane turned on the Miz not too long ago. I thought that was kind of dope because we were expecting Miz to turn on Shane. But I thought that would have been nice. But I just knew that the champs were going to lose. I do feel like the pacing at the finish was a little off. Like, Lacey was ready to punch Charlotte while she was doing the figure 8, but I guess she was scared and she tensed up. You kind of saw that. This was after the Ric Flair interference as well. Like I said, I caught the end part. From what I saw, it was okay. I felt like there was a lot of things unnecessary, like Nia leg dropping Charlotte after getting hit with the brass knucks. It was like, what's the point of the knuckles? Going into Goldberg versus Drew McIntyre. The first thing I noticed is that Goldberg left his wrestling gear at home. I don't know if he was just trying to hurry up. I'm just joking, but I don't know. Maybe he felt insecure about how he looked. You know, that's the equivalent of a lot of wrestlers wearing t-shirts to the ring over their gear. I don't know. It just felt different. You know, I grew up seeing Goldberg wearing those small black trunks. And to see him in some shorts, some swimming trunks, if you will, that was a little crazy to me, but funny. Drew McIntyre, he comes out, he does his thing. Both of these guys have black. To me, it's always a good thing to have contrasting gear, just in case people remember you for what you have on. Now, I know those guys are different in size and also hair texture, but going on to the match, I knew the match was going to be a finisher fest. It felt like when me and my brother used to play SmackDown on the PlayStation, Just Bring It. We used to just put the finishers all the way up, and then we used to just hit each other with finishers. And that's exactly what it felt like. You know, Drew hitting a spear, hitting claymores, and then Goldberg spearing him through the barricade, couple spears, and jackhammer, and claymores galore. The finish saw Drew hitting a claymore, winning the match and retaining, and then Goldberg said that Drew had his respect. I had a feeling that Drew was going to win, but the way WWE does booking, I kind of had a thing in my mind that Goldberg could win. I will say that despite it being that short of a match, they did what they were supposed to do. It caught our attention. And a lot of people get mad about why they keep booking Goldberg. This is the reason why. I know I'm not the only one. It was like almost every finisher that was performed, you was like, oh man, this is it, this is it. That's the thing about wrestling. It's about storytelling. It's also about getting your eye. You might hate Goldberg, or you might not never like Goldberg, but when he wrestles, you pay attention. So that's what I will say about that. I really did enjoy it. The second match, well, the third match, including pre-show, is Carmella and Sasha Banks for the SmackDown Women's title. I had Sasha winning. This was a good thing about what I just spoke about a few minutes ago about them having contrasting gear, and it wasn't black. So if you're watching with your girlfriend or your significant other and then they asking who is this, you know exactly who they were talking about. This is a good thing about having certain gear. The match itself was very good. I think they did everything right. I was impressed with Carmella. Like, when she turned heel, I was like, okay, she changed her wardrobe. What makes her different from when she was with James Ellsworth? But it's different, and it's growing on me. One thing I also like is the small things that count. I like that when the referee kicked Reginald out after Carmella did that dive, which was scary, by the way, she brought Sasha back in the ring and tried to pin her. And she was like, well, why did you send him out? Like, I like that. She was asking, why did you leave? He didn't do nothing. Because what I'm used to seeing is the referee kicking out a valet or a manager, and then the match just continues and they don't worry about it. I like that kind of thing. I also liked Sasha, how she got out of the code of silence that Carmella put on her. It was just move the arm. And I also like the setup to the bank statement that Sasha applied on Carmella. Very good match. I had a feeling that Sasha was going to win. I do feel like this year Sasha will have her WrestleMania moment. She's the final horsewoman who hasn't had one yet. So I'm looking forward to that. I do think that she may go against a big name, maybe a Trish Stratus or a Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania. Who knows? Going into the Women's Royal Rumble match, as I talked to my bro Kevin Young from Shooting From the Script, we both said that it was going to be Bianca, and it was Bianca, and I couldn't be any happier. This is a lady who has grinded, not saying that no one else hasn't, but she was different. She was talented, she can wrestle, she was doing things that women wasn't doing normally. I did want Naomi to win as well if it wasn't Bianca. They both put on a clinic. They did very good. There's a lot of surprises with Jillian and Tori, and good seeing Victoria again. One thing I didn't like about the Women's Royal Rumble, two things, was the R-Truth spot. It was funny, but it wasn't necessary. And then like Alicia Fox winning the belt and then getting eliminated and losing, I didn't really care for it. Another thing, I think that they relied too much on spots. You know, when I was training, we weren't supposed to really bump a lot in the Royal Rumble, but it was spots, especially the beginning with Bayley, Naomi, and Bianca. I felt that the timer wasn't going off on time, and then they were doing a lot of things that they didn't need to do. Then there was also like a point where it was like 13 women in the ring. There was no eliminations. It was kind of scary because when you get filled like that, you don't know what you're going to do, and some people look out of place, and unfortunately they did. Some looked out of place because you don't want to slam someone on somebody, you don't want to shoot somebody off the ropes and run into somebody. But I was happy with the results. I think that the last two, Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair, those are the ones for the future in pro wrestling, not just WWE, in pro wrestling. So that was pretty good, but I really was pulling for Bianca, and I'm very excited that she won. I do have Rhea Ripley winning it next year. That's just me. Next match, Universal title time, as it is Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens. This is how you start a last man standing match. You try to give your all at the beginning, and I felt that both of them did it. Superman punches, spears, pop-up power bombs, you name it. Stunners, they did it all. I'm sick of, let's do the traditional wrestling match, and then eventually we'll do the last man standing, and then you count to 10. It was like they would legit trying to take each other out, as you should. You're trying to hurry up. You're not trying to wrestle a whole hour with the last man standing match. You're not trying to. You're trying to take this guy out and leave. There was a lot of good spots. There's a lot of good theory too. I liked Kevin Owens when he was attacking the knees instead of just hitting the head or the back with the chair. I liked some of the things that Roman Reigns was doing. I liked how they were talking to each other. They were talking trash. You know, sometimes we get condensed with just trying to get done with the wrestling moves, maneuver after maneuver. I liked how they were talking to each other. Oh my God. When Roman Reigns hit him with the golf cart, it felt like a fatality. The subway fatality in Mortal Kombat 3, because nobody saw that coming. I just saw Kevin Owens beat the count. All of a sudden the golf cart comes and he goes through the plexiglass in the front. That was crazy. The frog splash that he did off of the forklift, that was crazy. It was really unpredictable. I had Roman winning, and the finish was a little messed up. It was smart. We saw what they were trying to do, but for the referee, the new ref, to come out so early and then trying to count, but then have to stop because they're having trouble getting his handcuffs off of him was hilarious. He put the guillotine on Kevin Owens and he wins. So from here, I see Roman going against his cousin, The Rock. I don't see nobody else. This is the ample time. I just think that the way WWE does things, I just see them going against each other. They just dropped the Yokozuna documentary. You know, WWE drops subtle hints sometimes, but I think it would be kind of dope to have The Rock versus Roman Reigns, especially around this time. Alright, main event is the male Royal Rumble, and I had Daniel Bryan winning. Unfortunately, it wasn't his year. Edge won, being number one and outlasting 29 other superstars. He didn't get. We all got tricked by Randy Orton, but then Randy Orton got tricked and duped after giving Edge an RKO, and he was thrown over the top rope. My take on it is, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the Royal Rumble, the Males Royal Rumble. It was very good. It was nice to see Seth Rollins back. It was nice to see Hurricane, even though we knew he was gonna get eliminated. I didn't like how they did my boy Bobby Lashley. I hated it. I liked Almost, I think that's his name. I liked his involvement with saving AJ and also eliminating people. Like the way he snatched Big E from the ring. Like, this is the ring, standing in the ring. You're gonna be. You're very high. In fact, he just snatched him and threw him over like it was nothing. Was crazy. What he did to Rey Mysterio, that was pretty dope. Braun Strowman coming out fake and acting like he was gonna throw AJ towards him, but then threw him on the other side. Yeah, it was a lot of things. It was good to see Carlito back. It was very good to see Christian back in good shape and in wrestling gear, because the last time I seen him, I think he had all black on for just an unsanctioned match. You know how that goes. It was good. You know, my heart sank when Daniel Bryan got thrown over the top, but it was very good. I'm probably gonna watch it again. I would recommend, if you didn't watch it and if you did watch the spoiler or my review, I do recommend watching it. It is a great pay-per-view or network exclusive, if you want to say it. My name is Chris Classic. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm gonna watch the Yokozuna documentary soon because that looks interesting. Don't forget, have a wonderful day. Let's take it home.